It's a coast-to-coast crime wave brought to you by Democrats' weak and completely irresponsible crime policies. A smash-and-grab gang striking yet again in California, this time knocking off a jewelry store. And as for the thieves who have been busted for storming other places, well, the LAPD announcing 14 suspects have been set free. The police chief blasting no bail policies.
All the suspects taken into custody are out of custody, either as a result of one juvenile or the others as a result of bailing out or no bail, zero bail criteria. The risk of COVID to those that are in custody, the court system installed this zero bail system as a means of safeguard. But as we evolve through this, there's elements of the criminal elements that are recognizing that condition and are capitalizing on it.
In New York City, a suspected gang member with a long rap sheet going on a stabbing spree, knifing a Columbia student who bled to death and then wounding a tourist. And Bank of America is telling its employees to dress down to avoid getting targeted on the street while the city gets rocked by a crime wave. So, what does the White House plan to do about all this? Jen Psaki trying to clean up her boneheaded comments yesterday, blaming the crime on COVID. Watch.
I think a root cause in a lot of communities is the pandemic, yes. What should have added yesterday, but I learned afterwards, is that the Justice Department, the FBI, and the federal law enforcement have been in contact with jurisdictions where we have seen this high level of retail theft. On top of that, the Department of Justice announced last week that San Francisco, where a number of high-profile retail thefts have happened, will get money to hire 50 more police officers through the COPS program.
I don't know. Is that going to cut it?
Well, the thing is, adding 50 police officers, fine, that might be great for a day, but then if the career criminals get back on the street the day after they are arrested and are just let go because of these new policies, then it doesn't make much sense. And I think that it would be, the White House, I think, would be in a position to be able to say what's happening at the local level is wrong, but they won't, because all of this goes back to all of the big funders from the beginning.
Yep.
And Michael Bloomberg also was a part of this and trying to get more progressive district attorneys in the country. That has happened and apparently has worked. I think the White House ought to ban a phrase, root causes.
Yeah.
They have so many root cause issues that they're not actually addressing.
They're the root cause.
And the thing is, they have jobs numbers today, and it's almost like the career criminals, their jobs are like secure because you're not ever going to get put in jail and made to stay there. If I were at the White House, I would definitely say we should change this up immediately. One, on the merits, it's necessary because of what's happening. But two, because Jessica's made some great points this week about you can't tell people that what they are seeing with their own eyes isn't happening, because that's the surest way to make sure that you are going to fail in elections, and then you can't get any of your policies done.
Do you have any more great points?
I think so. You might not think so,
We'll
but
see.
maybe Dana will. So there are three key players that I see here. So the police chiefs, the DAs, and the mayors. And you're hearing more out of the police chiefs and the mayors about this problem. Eric Adams went down to the Biden White House for a meeting that was all police chiefs and mayors. He's taking a very tough on crime stance. We'll see what happens when he gets inaugurated. But that was obviously part of his platform for winning. So if we get them in sync, and that means that those two groups, the police chiefs and the mayors, going to the DAs and saying, in practice, this is not working. I understand we're all progressives here, because most of the mayors are also progressive like the DAs, but this is what's happening on the streets. And if we don't get all on the same page, funding's going to be cut. We're also going to continue to lose tax dollars because people are going to move out of these cities. They're not going to become empty. So bringing that together, which is something that Bloomberg worked on really hard when he created this mayoral task force that was a nationwide project and was actually quite effective, is something that I think is going to underpin a change here. And then the White House will be able to speak more cogently about what they're doing to try to help.
But don't you also have to kick down doors at the city council level? Because it was the radical city council members that put all these policies in place.
You're going through my notes.
Did I? I'm sorry.
No, I was thinking that when Jessica was saying that. This actually is a statewide level because in New York, the bail reform was at the state level. Also something here in New York, discovery reform, which led to fewer witnesses coming forward because the defense teams were basically given the personal information of witnesses. And so it discouraged witnesses from coming
That's
forward.
crazy.
The city council here in New York City also passed a few years ago, like 3 years ago, the Right to Know Act, which forces the cops to inform suspects that, you can tell us not to search you. It puts the cops in the role of being legal counsel to criminals. So there are myriad problems. It will take years to be undone, if they can be undone at all. But I'll tell you one thing that would help. If Bank of America, they're telling their employees quietly, maybe don't wear your wedding ring or your engagement ring to work. They're essentially telling their employees, you're in danger if you come to work here.
Yeah, why not? Might as well just work from home.
Or why not move your damn jobs to somewhere that's more hospitable? You start moving your tax base out of New York City, the building's right down the street. You want to know who's going to sit up and take notice? It's the city council and it's the state government. That's what they ought to do. They're already in Charlotte. Move them on out.
Well,
nobody wants to live here anyway. It's a hellhole.
Gutfeld doesn't have to worry about looking too nice when he leaves the building.
What is that supposed to be?
You look at yourself.
What's wrong?
You don't look like you're flossed out, Gutfeld. Look, you got a black sweater.
Where is this going?
You know.
Does anybody know?
No one knows.
Should I just let him go? You know,
I would love that.
The root cause of crime is progressivism. It is the misunderstanding of incentives. They're incentivizing crime with no bail and all of these measures. That's why you have the criminals. We're allowing the media, the White House, to redefine crime as like a weather pattern. Like, you go out there, whoa, be sure and bundle up, dress like a hobo, right? Because there's a 70% chance of smash and grab, 30% chance of felonious assault. So it's up to you, and it's out of your hands. I feel so hopeless about this because it's been going on for quite a while that I am thinking about joining the dark side. Why bother being a law-abiding citizen and pay all these taxes and go shopping when you can just smash and grab? I mean, why am I going to Amazon online when I live around the corner from the store? I could just totally smash some windows, take some, just join. If you can't beat them, join them. There should be an app for solitary people like me who can meet up with other solitary looters, because that's my problem. I don't know, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a mob that can come with me while I go trash other people's private property. So maybe we could do an app for that. The bottom line here is we've redefined law and order as systemically racist. So anytime you enforce the law, you're going to be called a racist, which is the most effective method for undermining society. We're watching society implode. I feel absolutely hopeless. That Columbia kid was murdered by a guy that's been in and out of jail. I mean, maybe his parents have some influence. Maybe with the home invasion in Beverly Hills, will that wake up people? That a music legend murdered, right? While her husband was sleeping, or her husband was sleeping, she was murdered. Why? How doesn't this wake Pelosi up? Don't some of these people travel in the same circles?
Well, I mean, it shouldn't have to happen that way. That's the point.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not until hell comes to their house will they wake up.
Well, it's coming pretty close.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.